Hello, all. I guess we are on episode 10 here of Cooking with Dean. This is something that I learned in this quarantine that we're in. This is Salsa Verde. We usually would get this from our favorite Mexican market, but they don't deliver on Instacart, and we have not been to the grocery store in going on 6 weeks now. So I decided to learn how to make it myself, and it's pretty good. I've had a couple of taste testers. Dave and Sue and Scotty tried it, and they really liked it. So it's pretty easy. For the first time, I'd never used these tomatillas. I've seen them. I'm in that store all the time. I've never seen them. So that's what salsa verde is. It's tomatillas, jalapenos, white onion, bunch of garlic, and some cilantro. It's pretty easy. The whole thing takes about a half hour. And then we have fresh salsa verde because tonight we're going to have just crunchy tacos. So we'll use this quite a bit. So the salsa or the tomatillas, they're in a husk, and you peel the husks off. And then when they're like this, they're kind of gross. They're sticky, so you have to really wash them off, get them clean, and then we're just going to cut them in half and put everything in our pot and boil it. So be right back. All right, so I've got my tomatillas washed off. The stickiness is gone. So we're just going to cut these in half, throw them in our pot. I've used 3, 4, 5 of these. I only have 3 left, so that's what we're making today. I'm just going to put these jalapenos in whole. So I've made it 5 or 6 times, and the spiciness is always different depending on the jalapenos. I made some for Dave on Sunday last week, and I used 4 jalapenos, and it was really spicy. So we're going to use 3. We're just going to cut the onion in half, throw in all the garlic whole. So that's what's in our pan: 3 tomatillas, 3 jalapenos, an onion, and about 5 or 6 cloves of the garlic. So we're just going to fill this pot with water just to cover the vegetables, and we're going to boil it. We're going to bring it to boil and then simmer it for 10 minutes. The cilantro goes in the blender, not cooked, so the cilantro stays fresh. The other ingredients get simmered down so that we can blend them. All right, so our pot is starting to boil on the stove, so I'm going to chop up some cilantro. The only thing I do with cilantro is I painstakingly try to get all the stems off of it so that we just have nice, good, clean cilantro for our blender. All right, so our vegetables are boiling now, so I'm going to just turn it down to simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for 10 minutes. All right, so 10 minutes. Our vegetables are, I guess, blanched. So I'm going to take them and put them all in the blender right now, and we're going to use most of this water as well. But I want to see everything in there before we put the water in to see how tall. I always bring the water, 3/4 so it doesn't go crazy on me when I turn the blender on. Get all the parts in there, all that garlic. I always like to get everything in there. So I was thinking too earlier, if you really want to make sure that this is mild, you can just take the seeds out of the jalapenos. That'll make a big difference. I classify this as about a medium, so I always like it to have a little bit of kick. But yeah, you can always take those out. So then we're going to put our cilantro on top that I cut. Then we're going to add water. I'm making sure that I get all the little seed stuff off the bottom. So it was almost all the water goes in. So see, it's about 3/4 full. Then we're going to blend it for 1 minute on the blend setting. 1 minute. Halfway. Color looks amazing. All right, so one of the tricks that I learned from the old interwebs is You have to fry the salsa after that's done. So we're going to fry it for about 15 minutes. So I put about a tablespoon of olive oil in the pan. I've got my freshly blended salsa verde, and we're just going to fry it. So this is where you'll get it to the consistency that you want. And you'll put a little salt in it at this point and flavor it up. You'll have to taste it. But we're going to do this for about 15 to 20 minutes. It's going to simmer. Definitely needs some salt. All right, so here it is, 20 minutes in. Smells amazing. I'm going to let it cool, then I'll put it in some containers and put it in the fridge. It'll last, I think it's been, it'll last about a week. You can freeze it if you want to make a bunch and freeze it, but it goes good on everything, on eggs, potatoes, on the tacos we're going to have tonight and everything. So, if the consistency is too runny still, then just cook it a little longer. You can cook it a little less, but really that whole frying the salsa after it's done is really the most important part of it. But yeah, pretty good. Salsa Verde. Hope everyone is staying safe and hope to see everybody soon.